Hi, my name is Jeremy Sharon, and this is my Learning Analytics poster presentation. This is my poster. Um, I created it fairly large to handle all of the content and images I put in it. This is the definition here in the upper left of Learning Analytics. It's the official definition from the Learning Analytics Coalition or conference, whatever they did in 2011. Basically, to me, learning analytics, analyzing the data that students generate in classroom settings, what assignments they have due, what their test scores are, but also how active they are in the class. How long do they watch a video? Did they click on all the links? How did they respond in the evaluation of the course? All of that data. That is what learning analytics is. As far as an example of learning analytics, I just gave an example from where I work. I work in the online learning department at Spear School of Business here at Oklahoma State, and this actually came from my interview with my boss, and that I did the interview assignment on. And basically, for us, learning analytics is a cycle. We get feedback from students from course surveys or from monitoring their activity within the LMS of Canvas. And that feedback helps us understand how students learn. From that, we've got new teaching methods that develop, and we implement them then into new classes. And then from that, we get feedback from those new classes. And from that, new teaching methods are developed, or old ones are refined, and then new classes are used with the new methods, and it's just a constant cycle. So that's my example of learning analytics. As far as an issue within learning analytics, the biggest one I see is data privacy. What do we do with the data, and who controls it, who owns it, who has access to it? How is it shared? How is it used? Is it sold to others? Is it shared to third parties? There seems to be no hard and fast rule with learning analytics. Nobody is enforcing learning analytics on a consistent basis. It seems like it is a hodgepodge of from one department to the next, they do it differently. Also, actionable intelligence. This basically means not only knowing things, but knowing what to do with what you know. Like I put in here, in order for learning analytics to be useful, it must be put into action. We have to do something with all that data. And data privacy and actionable intelligence kind of overlap each other a little bit. And then students as individuals. This came from the Scholes article as well. It means assessing students as they are, not what group they are a part of. Matters, race, gender, poverty levels, previous experience, first generation in university. All of that stuff matters, but if we let that overlap what the individual does, we could enforce things on the individual that they may not need. And then I've also got ethical priorities. This came from my ethics statement, using Dr. Asino's map of all the different issues that can affect learning analytics. I just picked the top four for me, and they are transparency, being open and honest with what is done with data, data ownership and control. Who owns it and how is it used? Who controls it? How long do they have access to that data? If it's not the owner, who is it? When does the owner relinquish ownership of their data? And then institutional responsibility. That's how the organization responds to data breaches or somebody accessing the data that shouldn't have, or what do you do with that data long after the student is no longer a student? And then consent. Does the Does the person generating the data give their consent for you to snoop through their data? Do they understand the consequences of that? Is it clear, or is it a lot of legal mumbo jumbo? So I put that in my poster as well. And that's really all there is to my poster. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation.